What's happening, YouTube? Flash Beats back for another video. This is a little special treat I'm giving y'all for those who like to come here, man, and like the game breakdowns that we do here. Because typically, I don't do these in the middle of the day, but I just finished watching the Las Vegas Aces versus the Seattle Storm game, and I watched it because I just couldn't believe. I looked at the score and I'm like, all right, I got to check this game out. Checked it out, and I think there was some noteworthy things happening here that that we take away from it. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and talk to the people about this here. Uh, the first thing I think this points out is that the Seattle Storm are for real. They are for real. Now, beginning of the season, I did have them ranked as a top four team. My top four were Aces number one, New York two, Minnesota three, and then Seattle four. I still feel like they are the four best teams, and that the champion will come out of one of these four. I still got the Aces winning it all. I think. I just believe at the end of the day, man, they got the best player in the world, and I believe that 2 and 3 spot. Okay, they got the best 2-3 combination, the best small forward guard combination. A lot of people, for some reason, not believing in this combination, so I'm different with a lot of my homies on this. I just think they're overreacting, not giving Jewel Lloyd enough credit for being a great player, and that a great player can adjust. Right, players that are you think are similar can't. It's not that they can't always function. Players are smart. They know what you know, and they can adjust. I think they will, and I still believe they have, if not the best point guard in the league, still a top three point guard in the league in Chelsea Gray. And Chelsea Gray, to me, for my money, is still the most clutch player in the league. And you had Joe Lloyd, who had some clutchness. Jackie, who had it's just a combination of the right type of players. Now, there's some questions about depth, you know, that can be dealt with. There's definitely a question about the five position. Maybe they do need to do something about that. I don't know. I just still feel like, for my money, it's the best starting five. And people who disagree, hey, look, that's fine. For me, they're still the best starting five. I take that starting five over any. Okay, and in the long haul, I still got them winning it all. Okay, but on this particular night, the Seattle Storm made it clear they are for real. Okay, um, just a brief look at the team stats that they produced. Okay, the crazy part about it is that at a certain point in the game, they had a 27-point lead on the Aces, right? Something that you just like. I mean, now what may be concerning some people is the Aces' first games in New York against New York looked similar, so there's gonna be a lot of questions about the Aces, and I get it. Okay, um, now the stat that kind of sticks out here for me is the points in the paint, which the Storm dominated, 52-38. Okay, 12-point difference, 14-point difference actually. That stands out, and also fast break points. Okay, talking about 24 fast break points for the Storm, only 10 fast break points for the Aces. A little surprising there. Okay, why? Because the turnover battle was pretty much dead even. Okay, you got 13 turnovers for the Aces. The Storm, 12 turnovers. So they win by one. It's not like a situation where you turn the team over constantly. And scoring, though this is important. The points off turnovers. The the Storm were able to score 21 points off of their 12 turnovers, whereas the Aces only scored 9 off of theirs. So this tells you transition defense of the Storm was the major difference. Okay. When you talk about a transition defensive team, you got good transition defense because some teams have good, you know, half court defense. Okay. Few have good half court defense and transition defense. And that's what you find with the Storm. So that's serious business here. Okay, the defense won this game. They also played hellified good offense. Surprisingly, that you can't take away. 32 assists for the Storm. I mean, that's way above the league average. Okay, just to give you an idea, let's say I didn't look at the average this year yet, but typically, a team that would be leading the league in assists would be around 25, 26 is about where it usually would be. Okay, 32 assists as a team. There's no one person that's like, okay, I'm the big dog necessarily all the time. They're sharing the ball. That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. That's the type of basketball you want, especially in the regular season to get through that regular season. Now, with these types of teams, the only back is there's always a con to every single thing, and the con to these types of teams can come about sometimes in close games where you got to finish. Who's the finisher? We knew last year it was Jewel Lloyd for the most part. Um, is it Skylar? Is it NECA? Can it be Gabby? Who showed us some of that in 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 the Olympics. Those are the things they got to figure out. May not even be an issue. It might just be Skylar, and Skylar is an excellent finisher as well, closer. So Seattle is the real deal. 32 assists is excellent. 19 assists for the Aces, which it's not horrible, but you got out assisted by 13 as a team. That shows Seattle, they working in unison, man. Those players are here with each other, and I think this is kind of the story for the beginning of the year. You'll notice most of the teams that are like winning their games right now are the teams with the most continuity. And the teams that are losing have the least amount of continuity typically. When we talk about the sky, when we talk about the sun, when we talk about um, Valkyries and so on, right? Those are the teams that have the least amount of chemistry. Talent is part of it too, but chemistry. A lot of times when you have chemistry, when you have cohesion, when you have um, uh, teams that have been playing together for a while, sometimes you can still win games you're not supposed to win talent wise just by having that cohesion. Okay, continuity. You know, so we talk about the Storm, we talk about the Lynx, we're talking about uh, New York. Those are the teams that are starting off the fastest. Those teams that pretty much have basically the same roster, may have changed one or two things here. And before you say, well, the that Seattle had changed Jewel Lloyd, and this is a big thing. It is, but their replacement Gabby was there last season. Okay, so it's kind of like she already knows the system, knew what they were going to do, so they just plugged her right in, and they can get right to work. You know. So other things we look at here, the Storm, they shot a ridiculous, a sizzling 50% from beyond the arc. Aces weren't bad, 36%, not bad. When I get into the tail of the tape, we'll talk about what kind of happened there. Um, so all in all is 9 of 25. So you got the Aces shooting more threes. Okay, there's another situation where teams shot more, 25 threes, whereas Seattle only shot 16 of them. Okay, um, and you still win by 20 points. Very important. Because why? The field goal percentage, 60%. To the field goal percentage of the Aces being 43%. All right. Very, very, very important things, man, that we point out just when we look at the overall situation here. All right. So, all right. What kind of happened, man? All right. Beginning of the game, the Seattle did win that first quarter by 14. So they kind of jumped on the Aces a little bit. But the first half of the quarter, you saw Jewel Lloyd was going off. Okay, it looked like Jewel Lloyd was going to have a special game. She comes out, makes two of her threes. She's getting to the rack, got a couple and ones, all of that kind of stuff. And in the first quarter, I thought this was going to be a thing for Jewell Loyd. Seattle makes some adjustments. Part of that is who's going to be a problem is Gabby. Gabby is going to be a problem. I see she is a problem. All right. Putting her on Jewell Loyd helped. They were so disruptive in those passing lanes, man. We talk about the defense of Seattle. Okay. Now the main thing that happened here with Las Vegas because early on, Jewell Loyd, Jackie Young, who probably had the best game for the team, they were they were cooking. Jackie Young was getting to the rim. She was assisting people, and then early on in that game was looking like Jackie Yo and Jewell Loyd is they're going to be special, like I think they will be ultimately from that 2-3 spot. The problem was A'ja Wilson just couldn't get going. This was the problem with the game. She just couldn't get going. A'ja wasn't rebounding well. A'ja wasn't great defending the rim. Now, she did get 3 blocks, okay? But there were so many situations where she just couldn't get there quite enough time. Kiah Stokes was pretty useless as usual. She gives you no points. She gives you about 4 rebounds, which, in a game where you play, 17 minutes like that, So this is where the Aces' weakness is. They need to replace Stokes. They do. I know they signed the other sister, Cheyenne, who's pregnant. I don't know if she's going to play at all. And then when she does come back, what is she going to look like? So they need to make a move. Looking at Seattle, how excellent their offense was. Nice, beautifully balanced scoring. Okay, you're talking about 4 of the starting 5 were in double figures. Okay, and the other one had 9 points. Okay, she's damn near in double figures as well. That's Alicia Clark, who hit this one 3-pointer that she took. You got Nneka. Nneka was a problem in this game. She was just on one. Okay, 2 out of 3 from 3-point, mid range all over the place. That pick and roll with her and Skylar was flawless, damn near. Skylar Diggins, goes out there, 8 assists, okay, 2 turnovers, okay, 8 assists, 2 turnovers, okay, that's very good work out there. Defense was impeccable as usual, okay. Skylar gives you 10 points. One of my favorite point guards was Foul Chandler, you know that. Meg McGore. Listen, I often call A'ja Wilt Chamberlain. I call her A'ja Wilt Chamberlain, okay? Izzy Meg McGore sometimes is on some old Bill Russell type stuff, okay? She is like, if there is someone that is the what do you call it? The kryptonite of A'ja, it is this Izzy. I've watched him a number of times. She puts in some of the best defense I've ever seen against A'ja. This happened again. As he only records 1 block, but that doesn't really mean much. Okay, she is like deterring shots. She makes it that the Aces are taking mostly 3-point shots. That's why they end up taking 25, 27, because when you have a rim protector like that, teams are not going to go in. All right, and this is one of the reasons why I disagree when we talk about the Chicago Sky. Why I disagree with some of the brothers, because there's this thing going around that we should put Angel Reese at the 5 and kind of sit Camilla on the bench during that time and go small like that. And I kind of get it to upspeed the tempo, try to produce some points and maybe guard pick and rolls better. But I mean, what happens when you go against teams that aren't relying on the pick and roll? Okay, what about teams that are going to go to the rim? Then what? Angel Reese is not a rim protector. Okay, not saying she can't block a shot, but she's not a rim protector. Whereas Camilla is, I just that's the main reason I disagree with that, right? I want Angel more so playing like NECA. So you just got to be more creative and find ways to get Cabela out of the pick and rolls, okay, or help faster, something, you know. But what you saw Seattle do was damn near flawless. The pick and roll was working so well that once they did switch to guarding the pick and roll, then after that, players could just pop. Skylar could just pop. Gabby could just pop. It was one of the most flawless performances I saw that I had to do a video on it. Okay, and then in another hero, unsung, who was actually second leading scorer on the team was Erica Wheeler. Erica Wheeler, a player that I was trying to tell all year. I was telling Fever fans that Erica Wheeler is good, y'all. Erica Wheeler is good. It's just that sometimes good players can't find their rhythm in certain systems that are built around certain players and certain types of players, right? That's what happens when we have certain types of players that are very ball dominant. It makes a lot of other players really look bad. And that's what happened with Erica Wheeler. Here, Erica Wheeler comes out and she leads the second unit for the Seattle Storm. What did she get you? 21 points, some solid damn defense. Erica Wheeler goes out there, gets you a couple of steals, 7 assists. Okay, 1 turnover. Okay, look at that. Look at that point guard play. You got Skylar and then you got Erica Wheeler. Okay, this is the point guard play. 8 assists for Skylar, 2 turnovers. 7 assists for Erica, 1 turnover. That's the point guard production you want to see. All right. Dominique Malunga, they're starting to work her in a little bit more. Started bringing her in. I mean, these are the types of games you bring her in once it's under control and everything. She gets you 8 points. Okay. Now, this is the question I got here. You got Dominique Malunga, you got Izzy, and you got Ezzy. How does that work? Malunga, I'm sure. What are they going to do? Play her? Is she the later replacement for Gumake? Is that the idea? Because she's older, or is she there to be your 5, and you look to move Ezzy? How does that work? Are you going to go with a? I don't see her replacing NECA right now, but I see her coming along 4-7 from the floor today. I don't know. These are things they got to worry about. But if I'm a team, they looking to move Ezzy. Hey, I would be a taker for that one, for sure. Now there is another player. There's a couple of players actually that they have on Seattle that if I'm the Chicago Sky, I would be looking into. One is Lexi Brown. Okay, if I'm the Chicago Sky, I will be calling. What's up with Lexi Brown? What's the deal with her? Would you like a shooter? We have a Rachel Banham available. Maybe we could do something Rachel for Lexi. Hell, I'll throw Jefferson into that one. How about a Kid Nurse? Nice veteran player who can come off the bench and do something for you. Kid Nurse may be actually a better fit for them than Lexi Brown. Because we could use Alexi Brown. Chicago probably could play the 2, play the 3. Yeah, she could probably play the 3, right? I've seen her at times she can shoot the ball. See if we can get out there, play a little defense, see what she looks like. A good athlete. That's what I would be looking at if I'm Chicago. They also have Katie Lou Samuelson, right? Who can be, they say she has a right knee injury, but, I don't know. They also have Zaya Cook, who they gave her 11 minutes, so they may not be looking to move her. I don't know, but I would definitely, if I'm Chicago, inquire about Lexi Brown. Why not? Chicago needs guards. They need dynamic guards. They need guards that can do something. Lexi used to be a starter over there with the Sparks. It's just she's on a team where she's just not better than Gabby. We already know Gabby we can't get. Gabby Williams, though, is like literally the perfect player this is the type of player that Chicago Sky needs. Okay, and they messed that up. Apparently that was before I even was following Chicago. They messed that up. Maybe I'm hearing that was different ownership or whatever, but is it a lot better now? Um, I don't know. Okay, but that's what I would look into. So excellent game by the Storm. Um, Make AJ Wilson work like that. That was damn good. And yeah, man, it had gotten ugly at a certain point. Really, you look at the Storm comes out. Um, Vegas came out the right energy, so on. But when I tell you about these defensive teams that are constantly, pressuring and swiping at the ball, and they're just dogs. And then when the offense is working, you can't beat them. And this is what happened that night, man. Their lack of continuity on the Aces was exposed. And in transition, they were just killing it, man. And that's the tell of that game. So that's what I got on that game, man. Tell me what you folks think, and I'll get back with you later. Peace out.